I love stability balls. There are so many ways you can use them in your fitness program for stretching, strengthening, helping you with your balance, so many ways to help you get fit. Even though I love stability balls, I don't sit at one at the computer, and I don't think you should either. Let me tell you why. Click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll know when new videos are posted. Stability balls are touted as being really great for building core strength and improving posture. But let's question that for a minute. I have seen so many people slouching on stability balls, and they look kind of like bananas with their head forward and their lower back rounded. And that's a really good way to get low back pain and neck pain. So just because you're sitting on a stability ball does not ensure good posture. Because you don't have a firm surface, you really can't plant yourself. Your sitting bones are sort of lost in space. It's really a squishy surface to sit on. So you're always going to be kind of unstable when you're trying to do something with your hands. Stability balls also tend to deflate over time. So you can't guarantee that the height that you set them at, where they were perfectly adjusted for your height so that your hips are higher than your knees, you can't guarantee that that's going to last. And over time, you may not remember to reinflate your ball, but you could actually be sitting lower than you should be and having aches and pains and possible injuries because of that. It's also really hard to plant your feet when you're sitting at a yoga ball because the ball is round. And so you have to get your feet forward. And that's really not a good way to feel planted and secure and steady while you're doing things with your hands. There are also safety considerations. Sometimes these balls can burst because of overinflation, because people weigh more than the ball can handle. There can be punctures or weakness in the material, and that people can also use the ball beyond the recommended manufacturer limitation, which is usually about a year. So if you do have one of these balls, you want to change it every year. I have also witnessed people sitting on a ball, losing their balance and falling off them. And this is really dangerous because what if you hit your head or injured your neck or back or shoulder or something like that? You know, put your hand out, injured your hand trying to break the fall. There are many things that could go wrong. So if you are going to be using these stability balls for your workout, have a piece of sturdy furniture nearby so that when you're sitting on them, you can get used to them before you start working out in the open. You really need to be familiar with the stability ball and how they work. So what's the answer here? How should we be sitting? Well, the answer is sit as little as possible. And when you do sit on the very front of the chair. Hopefully it's a very firm surface. It can be a little bit padded, but so that you can feel your sitting bones while you're sitting. And sit tall. Keep your ribs and hips and shoulders and neck all in alignment. So your head is really centered right over your spine. Your shoulders are open and your back is nice and tall when you're sitting. And that's how you sit. And whatever you do, don't collapse into your chair unless you're at the dentist and it's designed for that. The other really critical thing to keep in mind with posture is that it's not enough to have a good chair. You also need a balanced exercise program so you're strengthening the muscles of good posture. Many people will work on their abdominal muscles, but they forget about their back, and that's really critical in learning how to sit tall. If you're sitting in good posture, it's effortless. You don't have to work at it. But some people are so imbalanced that they really need to work on their exercise program and do it consistently in order to be able to sit well at the computer, at the dinner table, or wherever it is they happen to be sitting. We've done many really great episodes on seating and sitting and how to evaluate an ergonomic chair, what's good, what isn't. You'll find them in the ergonomics playlist, and I've also attached one at the end of this video.